Let the silence settle. If there's someone near you, this moment is not for them. It is for you. What is coming next is not background content. It demands everything from you. You passed the test. You walked through the fire of betrayal. You endured the silence when you had every reason to explode. You remained standing where anyone else would have crumbled. The world saw you at your limit, and the enemy thought your exhaustion would be your end. They understood nothing. This morning, heaven recalculated the trajectory of your life, and I need to tell you exactly why the phase of surviving and struggling has just been closed in the divine court. You didn't arrive here because of an algorithm. You arrived because you were marked to arrive. This is divine alignment, and what you survived wasn't meant to break you. It was meant to prepare you for this exact moment. For too long, you have carried a burden that was not meant for your shoulders. It's the silent hum of anxiety that keeps your mind replaying the same conversations at 3 a.m. It's the persistent clenching in your stomach, your body in a constant state of alert, even when there's no immediate threat. It's the feeling of money slipping through your fingers, no matter how hard you work, leaving no trace. It's the invisible armor you wear, heavy and suffocating, that you can't seem to take off even in moments of peace. It's the nagging question, why them and not me? Or the innocent query from a child or spouse that stings because you have no answer. There is something I will place in your hands before this message closes. Something Solomon recorded for the chosen one, who needs to navigate the subtle sabotage, the silent envy, the paralyzing indecision of everyday life, and it fits in your pocket. It's not a book to study, it's an instrument to sustain the weight of what you carry. I'll return to this. For now, let it be. This persistent mental loop, the unease in your gut that never truly dissipates, the gnawing sense that you are constantly giving more than you receive, these are not random occurrences. And speaking of that exact feeling, the phone that rings with that specific name on the caller ID, or the heavy silence at the dinner table, I've already placed the instrument waiting for you in the first pinned comment. If you need to leave before the end, it's there. But stay, because the Hebrew name for what is happening to you has not yet been spoken. Have you ever felt that this oppressive emotional burden isn't merely human, but spiritual? What if this pattern of relentless stress is a sign of a battle against the purpose God has placed upon your life? It was in seeking answers to these very questions that I discovered this digital guide called the Solomon Code. This guide is not just a collection of wisdom, it is a key to spiritual understanding, a tool crafted for those who wish to see beyond appearances, to stop treating perpetual exhaustion as a simple malaise, and to comprehend why relentless attacks rise with such force against those who bear the mark of God. Many chosen ones on this channel have already felt the call of the code but have not yet made the decision to download the digital guide. Download it right now. It's available in the first pinned comment. If you are one of the first to download, come back here and type Amen. This will be your act of faith. And today, God can show you the reason why this constant mental struggle has risen against your life. There are 5 definitive signs that indicate you're caught in a subtle, pervasive battle designed to paralyze your daily routine. The first is the unsealed vigil. This is the state where your mind refuses to switch off, endlessly replaying concerns and possible scenarios, robbing you of restorative sleep. What seems like simple anxiety is actually an enemy attempting to prevent you from receiving divine downloads in your rest, isolating you in a persistent wakefulness that never refreshes. The second is the burden of the unspoken word. You constantly find yourself holding back truths, swallowing injustices, choosing silence over conflict, and enduring perceived slights. What appears to be prudence or patience is, in fact, the enemy making you believe your voice is powerless, leading to bitterness and unresolved conflict that drains your spiritual energy. And regarding that silent dread when an unknown email arrives, or that knot in your stomach before a difficult family gathering, I've already placed the instrument waiting for you in the first pinned comment. If you need to leave before the end, it's there. But stay, because the Hebrew name for what is happening to you has not yet been spoken. The third is the eroding boundary. You feel an invisible pressure to continually give more, your time, your energy, your resources, even when it leaves you depleted. What looks like generosity is an open invitation for others to overstep, creating a breach in your spiritual and emotional defenses that leaves you vulnerable to exploitation. The fourth is the desert of unacknowledged gifts. You possess unique talents and insights, but an inner voice consistently tells you they are insufficient or ill-timed. What seems like humility is a deep-seated fear of visibility, preventing you from fully stepping into your calling and deploying your God-given abilities. The fifth is the cycle of exhaustion and anticipation. You constantly feel drained, finding little joy in what once brought you peace, yet you remain hyper-vigilant for the next wave of attack or challenge. What seems like simply being worn out is actually a spiritual tool designed to keep you in a perpetual defensive posture, unable to truly rest or move forward in faith as it constantly demands your attention, leaving you paralyzed. Now here is a concrete tool you can apply today, rooted in ancient wisdom. This is the Three Shields Protocol, drawn from Proverbs 3:5-6, which states, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths." This protocol involves 3 daily practices to fortify your spirit against the paralyzing influence that seeks to undermine your routine. First, the shield of surrender, morning. Begin your day by consciously surrendering your agenda, your fears, and your expectations for the day to God. Do not merely pray, declare, "Lord, my day is yours. My understanding of what should happen is limited. Guide me where I cannot see." This preemptively dissolves the illusion of needing to control every outcome, which is a significant source of the paralysis. Second, the shield of acknowledgement, midday. Pause for just 1 minute, no matter where you are or what you are doing. Acknowledge God's presence in your current circumstance, even if it feels chaotic or overwhelming. Silently affirm, "God, you are here, even in this. I see your hand, even if it's veiled." This practice disrupts the enemy's attempt to isolate you and make you believe you are alone in your struggles. Third, the shield of trust, evening. Before you close your eyes at night, deliberately release the day's anxieties and unresolved issues. Say aloud, "I will lie down in peace and sleep, for you alone, O Lord, make me dwell in safety." Psalm 4:8. This isn't just about sleep. It's about refusing to carry the day's battles into your time of rest, thereby breaking the cycle of the unsealed vigil and preparing your spirit for divine rest. These 3 shields, consistently applied, become impenetrable armor against the system that seeks to paralyze you. If you are feeling right now that this is exactly what you need, even before I continue, place your thumb right now over the link in the first pinned comment. Don't click yet, just place your thumb there. Feel the weight of the decision before you make the decision. This guide is not a method to do more, it's an instrument to sustain more. It doesn't train you, it covers you, and the next morning of repetitive dread will arrive sooner than it seems. And it comes with 2 seals for your home, not for your performance. The first seal is the ritual of the just sleeper. It's an audio. You don't read, you lie down. And what you once called insomnia, today you will call an unsealed vigil. And you will learn to seal the night with the right name, in the right order, in the right voice. The second seal is the awakening of clarity, the 7 morning decrees. 7 short phrases, 1 for each morning of the week. So you no longer wake up without identity, so you traverse the first hour of the day with the posture of one who was sent, and not with the posture of one who was run over. You have a 7-day unconditional guarantee to use and experience it, 7 full days. If in 7 days the instrument hasn't touched what needs to be touched within you, if clarity hasn't arrived, you send an email and receive your money back. No questions asked, no justification needed, and the 2 seals, the ritual and the decrees, remain with you even if you return it. They are yours, unconditionally. But I need to be direct with you. The real risk isn't spending less than 2 coffees. The real risk is the next morning of paralyzing routine arriving and you are still empty-handed. That is the risk that has a face, And it is about that face that I need to speak with you now. Perhaps you're asking yourself some questions that deserve answers before we proceed. What if this is just my anxiety and not a spiritual attack? The enemy often cloaks spiritual attacks in familiar anxieties, making them harder to identify. This guide helps you discern the difference, giving you tools to respond appropriately. I've tried so many other things. Why would this be any different? This isn't another self-help book. It's a protocol rooted in ancient divine wisdom, designed to engage with spiritual realities rather than just mental processes. What if I'm not strong enough or deserving of this? This instrument is not for the strong or the deserving, but for the one who is weary and seeking divine intervention, just like Solomon intended for God's chosen ones. And even so, if you only want the guide, it is sufficient, but the complete house has all three. A 38-year-old marketing professional, feeling perpetually overwhelmed by her daily tasks, started using the guide after months of battling chronic fatigue. In the first week using the ritual of the just sleeper, she found herself sleeping deeply for the first time in years. The phrase she sent me was, "It felt like angels were guarding my sleep, and for the first time my mind truly rested." A 51-year-old small business owner, struggling with persistent indecision that led to financial stagnation, began the protocol. Within 2 weeks, applying the awakening of clarity, he made 3 critical strategic decisions that had been stalled for months. He said, "I no longer felt paralyzed. It was as if clear paths appeared before me." A 27-year-old recent graduate, feeling utterly lost and directionless in her career path, constantly battled feelings of inadequacy. After embracing the practices for a month, she found the courage to pursue a niche passion, leading to unexpected opportunities. Her words were, "I finally understood that my identity wasn't in my struggle, but in what God designed me to be." Perhaps 3 hours from now, you will be lying in bed again, with the same paralyzing thoughts, remembering that you saw this video and still did not reach out. Perhaps on the next Monday morning, you will wake up with the familiar dread and the inability to focus. Perhaps at your next family gathering, you will again feel the heavy weight of unspoken judgments. And this consequence continues to arrive with the same alarm clock, with the same coffee, with the same door opening onto the next day, each time demanding more from you. The link is in the first pinned comment, pinned for you, not for everyone. For you, who needs to cross the next paralyzing mental battle with the instrument in hand. Click now. And when you do that, when you open that link, you are not buying a book. You are accepting an instrument that Solomon prepared for your ordinary day. And what you will understand next, when you hear the Hebrew word that is coming now, will change the way you interpret everything that has happened until this point. The Hebrew word that defines exactly what is happening to you is shamar. Pronounce it with me in a low voice wherever you are. Shamar. Shamar means to guard, to watch, to protect. But it's not just that. It's a vigilant, proactive guarding. It's an intentional watchfulness over what is precious, like a shepherd diligently guarding his flock or a sentinel protecting city walls. It's not just a dictionary translation. It's a word that describes a state, a posture, a calling. And when you hear this word, something within you calms, because it was already happening inside you. You just didn't have a name for it. And concerning this word, it is written in Psalm 4, verse 8, "In peace I will lie down and sleep, for you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety." This is not a promise for the future. It is a declaration of your present state. Consider the story of Joseph, a chosen one whose daily routine was absolutely paralyzed by betrayal, false accusations, and imprisonment. His struggles were not random. They were part of a divine narrative. Joseph, sold into slavery by his own brothers, faced deep betrayal. He was falsely accused and thrown into prison, his future seemingly sealed by injustice. Yet, he carried an instrument, not a physical tool, but a divine wisdom to interpret dreams and manage resources. In the pit, in Potiphar's house, and in prison, he applied this wisdom, interpreting dreams and bringing order to chaos. This instrument operated in his everyday duties, whether managing an estate or overseeing prisoners. The turning point came when his wisdom was recognized, elevating him to power. He transformed suffering into stewardship, ultimately saving his family and an entire nation from famine. And what Joseph had to improvise in Egypt, you can now do with a guide in hand. The instrument Solomon recorded is the same that awaits you in the first pinned comment. Let me pause for a full minute and put everything you've just heard into simple words, without poetry, without metaphor, just the facts. Fact 1, there is a spirit of subtle paralysis. Fact 2, it does this by subtly infiltrating your daily routines, creating unseen breaches in your mental and spiritual defenses. Fact 3, Joseph was a target of this exact attack. Fact 4, your hesitation, which you call prudence, is exactly what this spirit needs to convince you to give up on the next paralyzing morning. There are 3 types of calling being tested right now by the spirit of daily paralysis. You are one of these 3 types. When I name yours, your spirit will leap in recognition. The first type is the hidden cultivator, who diligently works behind the scenes, planting seeds of transformation without public recognition. Their specific attack is spiritual exhaustion, where the adversary makes their tireless efforts feel pointless and unseen, leading to a profound sense of burnout and a desire to give up. The second type is the silent sentinel, who is naturally attuned to subtle shifts in spiritual atmosphere, often discerning hidden conflicts. Their specific attack is overwhelming anxiety, where their sensitivity is weaponized against them, forcing them into constant alert mode that drains their peace. The third type is the bridge builder, whose calling is to connect disparate worlds, fostering unity and understanding in fractured environments. Their specific attack is relational friction, making every interaction feel like a struggle, convincing them that their efforts to unite are futile, leading to isolation. And for your type, heaven had already sealed 3 names. The first name is the Architect of Inner Peace. This name signifies your divine ability to construct a sanctuary of calm amidst chaos. Solomon's instrument teaches you to identify the spiritual blueprints of peace and to defend them against disruption. The second name is the Steadfast Guardian. This describes your calling to protect not just yourself, but those around you from subtle spiritual encroachments. The instrument reveals how to stand firm and unyielding against unseen pressures. The third name is the Illuminated Navigator. This name speaks to your capacity to find clear paths and wise decisions, even in the densest fog of uncertainty. The instrument provides the ancient compass that directs your daily steps. If one of these 3 names resonated with you more strongly, write the number down here in the comments, 1, 2, or 3. This is your first act of taking possession of your identity. And for these 3 sealed names, the adversary has a specific tactic. For the Architect of Inner Peace, the tactic is relentless internal noise, making true silence impossible. The weapon against this is the decree of inner stillness. For the Steadfast Guardian, the tactic is to exploit your compassion, making you feel guilty for setting boundaries. The weapon is the decree of sacred boundaries. For the Illuminated Navigator, the tactic is to obscure pathways, making every decision feel fraught with doubt. The weapon is the decree of divine clarity. And these 3 weapons alone are reminders. With the instrument, they become covering. Recognizing the cycle without having the instrument Solomon left is receiving the diagnosis without the treatment. And furthermore, there are 4 more portals beyond these 3 that I cannot open here, not for lack of time, but for density. Each one needs its own page with the exact counterweapon, and while I don't deliver these 4 here, the spirit of daily paralysis knows them all. The guide delivers. But before I release you, there is one last point. The final obstacle is not the enemy. It is a voice within you that sounds dangerously reasonable. It is the fear of appearing ungrateful. It is the fear that by accepting an instrument, you are telling God that what He has already done was not enough. It is false piety. It is pride dressed as humility. God does not give you strength so that you refuse the weapons He Himself forged for your battle. Accepting the instrument is not doubting strength. It is honoring the general's strategy. Now I want you to close your eyes wherever you are. Place your right hand over your chest and repeat with me in a low voice, if you need to, but let it come from your mouth. Father, I surrender the exhaustion that has accumulated in these recent months, my mind that replayed conversations, my body that trembled with unseen fear, the resources that drained. I release all of it. I release myself from the fear of appearing ungrateful. This is the subtlest chain. My urgency is my gratitude. And I now receive the 3 names that were sealed upon me: the architect of inner peace, the steadfast guardian, the illuminated navigator. Not for me to boast, but for me to remember, for me to walk through what is coming with them on my lips, in my posture, in my heart. And before the voice that comes now, I need you to hear one thing. The intensity of what you experienced in recent months is not proof that something is wrong with you. It is proof that you are exactly where you always knew you should be. If this resonates with you now, right below, I receive the turning point. And now the Father's voice. Listen, child, I saw you. I saw you grappling with invisible forces, felt your weariness, witnessed your silent struggle to keep going. I never lost sight of you. I never closed the seat at my table that bears your name. Your name is etched in the palm of my hands. The chair is yours. The pride in your generous, faithful heart was never withheld from you. And there is a voice speaking within you now, a voice that says, this is not for me, this is for someone with greater faith. I need you to hear this from me now. You have permission. You have permission to receive what you did not earn. You have permission to take your seat at the table without having to justify it. You have permission to let die the version of you that needed to suffer to feel worthy. Solomon did not prepare this instrument for those who are already ready. He prepared it for those who are tired. And the one who is tired is you now. I now extend my hand towards your home and decree a covering of sealing over everything that belongs to you, over your table, so that it may be a place of refuge from external noise and a source of quiet discernment. I declare a covering over your children and your spouse if you have them. May they be shielded from the same paralyzing fears that have touched you, finding peace in their daily rhythms. And I decree a covering over your work, over your hands. May your efforts be fruitful, your focus unbroken, and your labor unburdened by unseen attacks. You are committed, you are commissioned, you are sent. You are committed, you are commissioned, you are sent. You are committed, you are commissioned, you are sent. Before I release you, I want you to walk with me into a room you have not yet seen with physical eyes. Don't force it, just let the image come. There is a long, dark wooden table. Light comes from above, from a place you cannot identify. People are sitting there. Some you loved and are gone. Others you have not yet met. The faces feel like family. And there is an empty chair near the head of the table. Your shape is carved into it. The wood remembers you. Solomon is at the head of the table, and he nods as if to say, we were waiting for you. You are not creating this scene. You are remembering it. The chair has always been yours. Only you were missing. Don't say amen yet. Sit in that for a moment. Feel the weight of what just happened. Now you can say amen. The Solomon Code awaits you in the first pinned comment right below, along with the ritual of the just sleeper and the 7 morning decrees. For less than 2 coffees, because an illuminated navigator without coverage will wither in the next paralyzing morning. And the adversary counts on the next paralyzing morning. It's not an expense, it's an instrument. And Solomon prepared it for you to navigate what is coming with a firm hand, not an empty one. With a 7-day guarantee. The risk is ours. The hand is yours. Click now, while the decree is still alive in your chest. Not tomorrow, not after your shower. Because whoever puts it off until later, puts it off forever. And the adversary already knows this. In the next 3 hours he will speak within you. Not in a loud voice, in sequence, 5 short phrases. You need this money for something else. This isn't the right time. You need one more sign. This isn't for you, it's for someone with greater faith. You're not worthy of this, you haven't earned it. If it's from God, it will happen eventually. You don't need to do anything. 5 waves. He tries from 5 angles. At some point you might yield. Today, now, before the next paralyzing thought, not later. Today. And Solomon will sustain you. And before you go, think of one specific person. Not many, just one. The person whose name just came to you when I said that. The person who has been in silent, faithful, unseen, being attacked in the same way. Someone who has been coming home carrying a burden that is not theirs. Someone who needs the same sealing you just received. Send this video to them. They are waiting for this word to arrive. Perhaps it is your hand that will deliver it. It is not a favor from you. It is service, and heaven sees. If you have made it through this video to the end, comment below, Amen received, and send this video to that specific person who came to your mind. It is done. What was delivered here was delivered. You are not the same person you were when you pressed play. You are deeply loved. You were never forgotten. The chair is yours, and so it is sealed. The next paralyzing thought can wait another 10 seconds. May the wisdom from above be your ground today. May your soul find rest. Until our next encounter. Map of the script.